You get everybody when you fuck with us.
Welcome back to the Packy Run podcast, your only source for New England sports news and aging punk kid ridiculousness. My AC just turned on. Hold on. Wow, I really thought I was going to hit that intro so well, and then the machinery just.
I mean, I can't even hear it, man.
This microphone will definitely pick it up, which is sad. Hey, hi. It's been a couple of weeks. This time, not because of any kind of degeneracy. This time, just because we are both busy men. I am your host, AJ Lagambina, and...
I am Dan. I went to 3 weddings in a week, and the Patriots have won 4 straight games. 5.
Yeah, we're
Mayot.
We are. I'm fighting demons right now. Okay. Anybody in the sound of my voice that has talked to me for the past couple of days can probably tell that I've had a little bit of manic energy around me, and that is because 1, the Patriots are doing ridiculously well. 2, we have been talking about trying to figure out podcast stuff, both behind the scenes and just getting ourselves in front of microphones. And also, I've got some hot takes on music stuff, especially after the past 48 hours.
Ooh.
Dan, how is your let's start small and work up to the bigger stuff. Dan, how wedding season? It was wedding season for you. How did that feel?
Yes. Dude, it was a gauntlet. So I was in one. Shout out to Ben and Fabs. They're awesome. Good friends of mine. So they got married. I was in the wedding party. Very happy to be part of people's weddings. That's always awesome. The very next day, we had a wedding in Vermont. We weren't in, but we were just attending, which wasn't bad. Just hang out. Then the following Friday, or that Friday, so it was Saturday and Sunday, and then Saturday. Friday. Jeez. Yeah, Friday. Another wedding, and it was Justine's sister. Justine was maid of honor. Again, it's awesome to be part of people's weddings. It's cool to be invited and to celebrate with folks.
Yeah,
but I'm tired, man.
I remember very distinctly a conversation with my father. I had a cousin that was getting married, and it was like a destination wedding. And I remember my dad being, traditionalist that he is. And he sits back and goes, well, why the hell would they go that far away? And there's no possible way that we could make that work and everything else. And I remember even then, that was probably middle school or high school for me, and sitting back and being like, but Dad, it's their day. If that's
Yeah.
if that's what they want to do, I'm assuming
cares
that
what
as
other
two
people
grown
thinks?
adults that are announcing the fact that they're going to live together forever, I think they knew the risks that you and other people weren't going to be able to be there. That's So I remember that, but
Is what it
I
is.
remember that like changing my tune on weddings, because as a really young kid, I was always just like, oh my God, it's the wedding and the whole family gets together and like it's the whole big party and the everything else. And now I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, maybe the smaller the better. Maybe you keep it a little bit closer to the chest, and like if you want to throw a party for everybody else, that's great, but like do something for yourselves. And I just remember like that conversation with my dad was the catalyst for me realizing like, oh, there's so many moving parts to this shit. There's so like,
Oh,
even
absolutely.
never mind when I got to be a groomsman in listener Sean's wedding. I just remember sitting back and being like, this is now I'm going to the bachelor party, and now I've got to figure out the suit that's going to be custom made because he wants us all to look the same, and I've got to travel back and forth, and we've got the parties, and we've got the wedding itself, and we got like, all of a sudden I was like, no, I don't want to put anybody through this.
The rehearsal. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been in 2 weddings, and I think between the bachelor party, between the bachelor party, I mean, luckily the 2 that I've been in, like the travel wasn't an issue. They were all like relatively close. But travel, hotels, the suit, because renting a suit is $300.
At which point you might as well buy one of your own, unless you're in the wedding, in which case you need to match everybody.
It's funny because like my friends who I was groomsmen with, like we were kind of like a couple of them when we went to like get the suit fitted back in like June. We were like asking like, oh, like how much is it to buy it outright? And it's like, oh yeah, $500. And it was a black suit. So I mean, one of my friends was like, I think my friend Alex, he was like, yeah, well, I'll probably need it. Like, like funerals, they come up. And I'm like,
Yep.
that's morbid, but like true. You're not wrong. But like, damn, dude. Yeah, like the hotel, because I think both, when you are a groomsman, you want to be relatively close. You want to like hang out.
Yeah.
It's all about the hangs, like before, after, and like during.
You want to be there,
like the wedding. Yeah, you don't want to miss out. So you're easily spending like $1,000 minimum.
Do me a favor. I can hear myself in your headphones. Are you on? You're on FaceTime with me right now? Click the audio button on FaceTime and make sure that the audio is coming from your headphones and not from like your laptop or your mic. Click on the FaceTime window. Make sure that the audio is coming from your headphones.
Yeah.
The audio is like selected to be headphones. Because I can hear myself in your headphones.
I think my headphones are just way too loud. That's probably it. Or, oh no, nope, I don't. Try it one more time.
You can definitely hear me perfectly fine. Make sure. So I'm probably coming through your laptop now.
Or you come through my phone. And now,
if you check that setting again and you put it on your headphones. Okay, maybe you're.
There we go.
It sounded.
Okay.
It just sounded weird in my headphones, and I wanted to make sure it should be good.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, no, it's such the institution of weddings is still something that like you and I have had this conversation a couple of times before, probably, well, maybe on the podcast, where I'm like, I like the institution of weddings. I like the idea of like what that party and everything represents. The background of it all and all the parties and the back and forth and the like, especially if you're not the one getting married, all of a sudden it's like, dude, I love you and I want to support you, but come on. Like, how much money do you want me to spend?
Oh, right. Yeah. Then you have to buy a wedding present on top of everything else. And you don't want to be like, and I've noticed this going to like a bunch of weddings. Like I've gone to 5 in the past year. People ask for the most expensive thing on the registry. Like every single time, it can't be a $5 spatula. It's like a $50 spatula for whatever godforsaken reason. And I'm like, I don't want to just give you a spatula. That seems a little cheap.
I've been poo-pooing the whole wedding thing during this conversation, but I am going to say one thing on that. On the other side of the line, if you have the excuse, there's not many times in your grown adult life where you get to sit back and be like, please give me something. Like, help me out here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to build a home. I'm trying to provide. I'm trying to do whatever on both sides. I'm sure that husbands, wives, husbands, if you're getting married, if you're subjecting yourself to the legal fucking institution of marriage, it's one of the few times that it's not like a social faux pas to turn around and be like, yeah, fork it over. Gimme.
It's not like random like people on like X asking for like they just include their Venmo and everything and pay like begging for like donations from people. Like this is like one of the few times like where it's like
yeah, it's like it's the one time that asking for something like literally just asking for something like that is not a social it's not a social faux pas. You're actually sitting back and being like, hey, so I'm starting this new life with this new person, and traditionally that means a little bit of a move or putting it together.
Give me money.
Get them checks. Get them checks.
I just give them $100. I give everyone $100 and call it a day. I'm like,
honestly, that's actually probably not that. That's probably
I'll give $100
not the worst move in today's day and age. The cash value has become even more worth it to people than the gift itself. Remember when we were growing up and people had I don't know if you had this, but I remember some of my aunts and uncles and people in my family being like, well, we don't like to give gift cards because it's so impersonal. Like it's not even a gift.
That's my mom.
I remember both my mother and my father saying
cards,
it,
man.
And multiple of my aunts and uncles, and like that wasn't a thing until probably, I mean, at this point, 15 years ago, but still. It was like recent memory when all of a sudden it was okay to just be like, yeah, buddy, I don't know what exactly you want, but I want to give you this gift. So like, here, take the money and get what you actually want. I'm not sure they'd love me telling this story on air, but fuck it. That was my Christmas present last year. I'm not much of a gamer. I've never been that big on this kind of like video games are interesting to me and I follow a lot of them, but I've never played that much of them. But there were a couple of games that I really wanted, and the only way I was going to be able to play them was getting a PlayStation 5. So I told my parents, my Christmas list this year is like I really want a PlayStation 5. And I sent them some links and they took a look around at a couple of other places, and both of them were just like, we don't want to do the wrong thing. And literally they cut me the check. They were like, okay, here's the money that we think it's going to take to get a PlayStation 5. Like, cash the check, go get what you want. And
check,
you know what?
Old school.
That's not in the year of our Lord 2025. That's not a social issue. That's just that is the material reality of everybody being able to figure out, like, hey, this is the world we live in. Trying to buy something on the internet doesn't always work. So let's make sure that you get what you want.
Yeah, that's probably the best. I mean, honestly, that's why I don't buy a lot of things on the internet. I buy most of my stuff in person or like at Target or something. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I would buy, that's where I'm at. I don't want to, I like the instant gratification of just like going to a store, grabbing it and plugging it immediately in, or using the item immediately, not waiting
I
like
also
a day
really
and a half
like
for it.
I really like the like honesty that it takes when you're when you're thinking about hitting the checkout line. And like sometimes you got some stuff in that cart that you're sitting there and you're like giving it the side eye. Like, you know what? I don't actually need it.
So you run back and like you put it back. But like on the internet, you're just like,
the internet,
you know
Apple Pay, like all of it. There's no rules. When you're just sitting there and you're like, yeah, I can just double click and look at that. There's another something that's going to be showing up to me in the mail. And then, you know, obviously there's like a 2 or 3 day delay when you're waiting for your t-shirt or your pack of socks or whatever you ordered from wherever. And all of a sudden you're sitting back and you're like, I spent that money, didn't I? Damn it.
Shit. I could have spent that anywhere else doing anything else.
You're sitting back at work and you're like, there's a lot of good places to eat around here. You open up your checking account and you look at it and you go, why is it so? Oh, yeah. It's not the number that I thought it was going to be, because flip over to the shop app or whatever and you're like, yeah, I did that, didn't I? Damn it.
Financial irresponsibility at like 2 a.m.
Which I have been the poster child for, believe me, but you would be shocked at the number of times that I have managed to, just in my internal monologue, be like, you don't need that. Stop it.
I mean, I watch, have you ever watched Caleb Hammer?
No.
So there's a YouTube podcast, I guess, called Financial Audit, and it's this guy named Caleb Hammer. And if I'm feeling bad about my financial situation, I watch his show, where he basically yells at people for their poor spending habits, like, and people being in tons of credit card debt and everything. And I'm like, man, like somebody purchasing like 6 Labubus in a week. I'm like, oh man, that is stupid. Somebody like carning Chick-fil-A or something like that. I'm like,
I still don't.
That's insane.
I truly do not understand the Labubu thing. I've crossed over the line at this point. There are so many things that I am just. I remember being a sponge for this kind of shit. I remember hearing somebody use a term that I haven't thought of before. I remember like moments of, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna keep that in the back of my mind. I want to research it. I want to figure out like what's the new hip thing, even if it was like I heard a song on the radio that I thought it was trash. Almost always it was 21 Pilots. But I would hear a song and be like, okay, I can kind of see why the kids are into it. Like, this doesn't seem like my thing, but let me go and figure it out or whatever. I've officially reached the point in my aging process where people start talking about Labubus, and I've also seen a bunch of things on social media where they talk about 6'7" and they're like, well, it doesn't mean anything. It's just an inside joke with the kids. And even that, like, I don't even want to correct people that I work with at the chalk factory when they're like, does anyone even know what 6'7" means? Like, they want to know.
6'7".
And I have now just gotten to the point where it's like, I could not possibly give less of a fuck. Well, what's the deal? Have you noticed that, like, especially guys, guys and people our age, there's so many people that just now sound like Jerry Seinfeld. What's the deal with Labubus? Who fucking cares? Don't you have bills to pay?
Like, I mean, I don't get it, man. If that's what people want to spend their money on, so be it. I'm gonna be over here and just not go into financial ruin buying Labubus, like a $60 keychain. Yeah, I like 6'7". I don't care, man. I don't know what it is. I don't care to know idiots. What it is. There was a bunch of like weird shit that we were into like back when we were kids. Like I'll never like, you know, like
the idiots that are our age, right? Hit the 1 in a million jackpot with Pokemon cards. They should have learned their lesson from the Beanie Babies craze. And they didn't.
Yep.
They all collected and hoarded and started trading all of their Pokemon cards. And that was
and Stanley Cups. Fucking Stanley Cups, dude. Remember that?
Stanley Cups are still a thing, but now there's like 42 friggin' manufacturers that make the same thing.
Yeah.
And it shows you how little respect they have for hockey, which is a whole other issue. But kids our age, they had their Beanie Babies in Pokemon. And they collected the cards, and a lot of them have made a lot of money off of Pokemon. And that's cool. And when it comes up on social media for me, I like watching the guys like ripping open old packs from the 90s and like hoping that they find the Charizard or whatever. Like, there's some nostalgia to that. You're spending $500 to buy a pack of cardboard. So clearly you have a fucking brain disease. But I find the entertainment in it, and I bet that you're making money back on just the views or whatever. So congratulations. But like Labubus?
Yeah. I watch a lot of box breaks. That's what they call it in like that's what they call it. Especially with baseball and football cards. And every single one of the box breakers are like, do not do this. This is a big waste of money. You will, like, if you want the cards you want, just buy it outright. Do not rip packs because it's
that's my favorite part about these guys is that the people that are doing it on the highest level to the point where it reaches like myself or you, the people that are doing it, they have like spending $500-$600 on a pack of 10 pieces of cardboard is nothing to them.
Right.
And I not to get too like, old man yells at cloud, but like I think there's a lot of people that are looking at that, and there's a lot of people looking at those guys and being like, "Oh, I could do that too. I could just hoard all this shit." And I'm like, "No. We've done this before. The Beanie Baby craze, the fucking I'm sure there was one that hit us when we were in high school. I can't really Were there collector's items for us, or were we in too much of a recession?
I mean,
Pokemon cards,
records, like vinyl records.
Oh, the initial.
Collect all the
fucking perfect. Yes, the initial vinyl boom when you and I first started collecting records.
Get the craziest variants. Try to get the test press. Try to get like the alternate cover of a certain record. Like there was a ton of that back in the day. Like try to get the first press. Oh, this is a first press, not a third press of this, so that the first press goes like for crazy money of like depending on the record. Like,
and
there was a ton of that.
There were.
It was very niche amongst our it's niche. It's very niche amongst like us and like whoever's into that community.
No, but I think
I think
if I can forgive me, listeners, but
yeah,
if I could toot my own horn for a second, Dan got to see this in real time from me. I loved talking about the rarity of something, right? Like you saw me spend money that I didn't need to spend or didn't even have at some points to get these things.
Yep.
And it was cool to be able to go like, oh yeah, this is a first pressing of this record. This is a super rare pressing of this.
This is the record store day of this pressing that
they're only doing it for this.
To press on records.
But you know what I did with every single one of those, many of which are sitting just behind me? I opened them up and played them because the rarity is cool.
Yeah.
But what was entirely more important to me was having the thing and being able to like the tangential part of the, hey, I want this and I like this, so I will go slightly out of my way to get something that's rare or cool or new, but it's not because I'm going to turn around and I'm going to make it some sort of financial gain. No, I like this much that I'm going to get the thing.
It's not like, because I remember our freshman year of college, like I think it was Record Store Day, like Deja by Brand New, record store only release or whatever, and I think you showed up super early to get it.
Red Scroll.
I don't think you,
Yep, Red Scroll Records in Wallingford, Connecticut. Yep.
I'm not sure if you were able to get a copy, but like I remember you were saying like at 8 a.m. they were already going up for like $500, getting flipped immediately.
Yeah, it was like this. Absolutely not.
Something like that.
If I got there, I would have spent, it's a piece of plastic with an album that I like. Yeah,
you would have spent like the $40 or the $30 or however much it was.
At that time for that record that had been that long out of press, fine, scalp me for $50 or $60.
Yeah.
Fine. Especially because it's the first time that it's really been there. It's the vinyl resurgence. It's the whatever. But for the number of people that showed up that early and got it, and then the number of people that turned around and went onto eBay and were like, I will pay $500 for this copy because I think that I can now turn around and sell it for $600, $700, $800. Guys, it's a record.
Yeah.
Like this is the whole joy of this thing is that you play music.
You like the band.
You have even if the joy for a lot of people, because they're playing it on like, I can still get in my bag about playing it on Crossley record players and the whole vinyl blah of it all. But like even if it's just to have the artwork and to be able to pick it up and be like, look at this 1 foot by 1 foot fucking big ass album art. I own this. There's a thing there. And that is lost. That is lost.
For sure. Yeah. That was ridiculous at the time, and it's looking back on it now, it's even more ridiculous.
All right. So, do you have anything more to add on the first part of the music front? We will get to our beloved Patriots, but I have one more topic that I really want to bring up.
Sure.
You are familiar with When We Were Young Fest.
Yes, I am.
Have you followed at all this past week?
No, I haven't. What happened?
The headliner this week was Panic at the Disco, playing a 20th anniversary of the album A Fever You Can't Sweat Out.
Yeah.
And for a month, the only thing that social media could talk about was the idea of the other three members of Panic at the Disco reuniting to play the album. After like a 10 to 15 year stint of Panic at the Disco being only Brendan Urie with a bunch of hired actors. Not actors. They are musicians. They know how to play their instruments. They do well.
Yeah.
But for a month, there was an entire community that was convinced that this was going to happen. And they played their first show last night. They headlined When We Were Young Fest.
They didn't show up.
The drummer came out to play I Write Sins Not Tragedies for the second time in the night to close out the set. And I think I'm all done with When We Were Young Fest. That's my takeaway.
I mean, I look at When We Were Young Fest as a cash grab, as something that's trying to cash in on nostalgia. And don't get me wrong, I love nostalgia. I love anniversary tours. I've been to a bunch of album anniversary tours or like shows. Like I saw the 10-year of Jar by Superheaven. I saw the 10-year anniversary of all the One Year's albums, pretty much.
You got to.
I like
at this point. You know, they're in my top 3 favorite bands of all time. You've seen Fall Out Boy more than I have live.
I've seen them twice. Yeah, I mean, I look at this as it's just a cash grab. Honestly, it's just trying to siphon money out of older scene kids that grew up. And one, I don't have the funds to just drop all that money and go to Las Vegas for this festival. And two, I'm not a festival person anymore. I think festivals are a lot. They're draining. It's just too much for me. And 3, I just don't like being marketed to like this. Not a fan.
And that's my whole thing, is that I was intrigued, and I stayed up late last night because just in case,
So you wanted like the old lineup to come out and play for Panic.
If they're gonna play that album in full, the way that they did, and I know a lot of people cite Live in Denver. I forget what there's another full live show that's like DVD quality that Panic put out, but it's much less studio interference and, re-recording of things. But
yeah,
Panic had a moment where they were very high concept, but they were very raw talent.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a sweet spot during that album cycle where I think that they were their most interesting. And I'm not trying to sound cooler than school. Like A Fever You Can't Sweat Out came out. I heard I Write Sins Not Tragedies on fucking Kiss 108. The same way that, well, I discovered Fall Out Boy a little bit earlier, but it was like I heard what a lot of people would consider my version of Fall Out Boy on the radio for the first time, and I was like, holy shit, like stuff I like is pop music now. Like, this is insane. There was I will lend credence to the fact that there was a decent little sweet spot for that band, and then they went full Beatlesy, which really kind of exposed what the issues with the band were. They kind of returned back to form on the album after they split up, and then it just became Brendan Urie at the Disco. I knew it was Brendan Urie at the Disco a year ago. Like a year and a half ago, when they announced that it was going to be the 20th anniversary of Panic at the Disco, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. Brendan Urie has been the only member of Panic at the Disco for the longest time. And for an entire group of people to sit back and be like, no, they're going to reunite. It's going to be a whole thing. It's going to be the original Panic at the Disco. And everybody playing the Live at Denver version, they do credit where credit is due, auto-tune or not. They've got a cover of Karma Police by Radiohead that's incredible. It was never going to happen. Like,
no.
What are we talking about? Of
course not.
It was never going to happen. And I guess my question to you is, like, you already said that you like the nostalgia tours, but like, where's the... I guess what I'm trying to figure out is how corny is it that this guy who for 10 years, it's the 20th year anniversary, but for 10 years, Brendan Urie was the only person in Panic at the Disco. How cringy is it for one guy out of four to get up on his, and I say this with giant air quotes, his scene's biggest stage and celebrate 20 years of this album, and the only thing he does is play I Write Sins Not Tragedies for a second time to close out the set with the former drummer?
If that was me, I would feel cheated. I've never been a big Panic at the Disco fan, but I would feel cheated. Like, it's, I'll take like one of the I'll take a contemporary band, for example, kind of close in like size, maybe not size at this point, but close around that region. It's like Escape the Fate, because like I think everyone our age at some point was into them at some point, whether they want to admit it or not. It's like if they decided to do a 20th anniversary of Dying Is Your Latest Fashion and Ronnie Radke wasn't singing. It was Craig Mabbitt. I would feel cheated.
I was just about to say, do you even remember who replaced him? But I can't. Yeah, it was. What the fuck was the band that Craig Mabbitt came from?
Bless the Fall.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Bless the Fall.
He was in Bless the Fall. Who was the other guy in Bless the Fall? No.
I I don't know. Or it's like I'm trying to think of like other bands, for example.
I just want everybody in the sound of my voice to note the date and time that Dan out metalcored me.
That's insane.
Anyway.
Or I'm trying to think of other people or bands that would, because I'm not a big Escape the Fate guy, but I did like a couple of their songs back in the day. It's like Black Sabbath getting back together, and it was Ronnie James Dio instead of Ozzy, like doing a reunion tour of a significant Black Sabbath record from the 70s. Like, I would feel cheated. I'd be like, that's not, what the fuck, man? Or insert any old band member into a current band, yeah, who made a significant record. I'd be like, that doesn't feel good to me. And I don't know, maybe the past members of Panic at the Disco still have a bad taste in their mouth. Maybe they just don't like Brandon Urie. Maybe there's beef there. I'm not sure.
I don't know either. It's just,
they've kind of buttoned that up. Would you feel the same way if, let me see. Let's say Paramore was doing the anniversary tour of Riot and they didn't have the Faro brothers. Like if Josh, because like I'm looking at Paramore right now, Josh Faro is not currently in the band. So like if Josh Faro wasn't in that tour, would you feel the same way?
I think I would feel differently because of you're going to call me out for being chronically online without even trying to. That's what you're doing. So no, I wouldn't feel the same way. And I don't like, and again, I went into all this hype about Ryan Ross is coming back. The other guy, the bassist John Walker, is coming back to Panic at the Disco. It was a year's worth of buildup of people having no information. They were just speculating, but they were trying to grab onto like the fucking Taylor Swift fans.
Yeah.
Sorry to those in our listening audience that know that I love your Taylor Swift fandom. They were Taylor Swift fans. They were looking at every fucking thing that they possibly could to be like, oh well, it's the 20th year anniversary, and we would really like this to happen, and we want to make it happen. We're going to speak it into existence, because they had no information to go on.
Yeah.
As opposed to Paramore, if they did a 20-year anniversary of Riot and the only person from that original lineup was Haley and Zach, the drummer and the singer, respectively. Well, kind of Taylor, but I know too much about Paramore. If that's how Paramore showed up, everybody would just kind of be like, yeah, we've heard this in interviews, my guys. We got it.
Yeah. I mean,
we know what we're in for.
They're transparent.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least Haley is.
They're transparent, and that comes with its own issues, though. Like, there are times where I'm getting a little bit worried about Haley falling into the Dave Grohl trap of like, Haley Williams feels a little bit overexposed. Like, you don't need to be in a microphone. You don't need to share every thought that you have. And for anybody in our audience, few as you may be, I'm not saying I disagree with anything that you said, but she's everywhere and she's talking shit every time she's on a microphone.
I love it.
To an extent, I really love somebody. I really love somebody that's going to get in front of a microphone and just be like, "Hey, here's my thoughts. Fuck you if you disagree.
Fight me in a Whole Foods.
Fight me in a Whole Foods." Because I think I might be making a stretch here, but I think it might be the party line of the Packy Run podcast. Fuck Morgan Wallen, man. Fuck that dude. What a fucking corny, fucking small-dicked jackass. I don't disagree, but the overexposure that can have the opposite effect. I can't name anything that Dave Grohl has said in the past 20 years that I disagree with.
Right.
But it's gotten to the point where sometimes it's a music documentary or it's just like he's just doing an interview for shits and giggles or whatever. And Dave Grohl shows up on the screen and it's like, come on, man. Really? This is the one guy.
Yeah, the representation of
like
rock music.
I'm all right with it. So I do worry about Haley getting to that point. But anyway, I don't know what the people going to wear or when we were young. I don't know what they were necessarily expecting.
I mean, I think like any festival, you're not just going for that band. I mean, just looking at the lineup, I mean, bands that you all like, the circle graph of like fans who are into Panic at the Disco that are also into blank band. I mean, they're probably also into All Time Low, Boys Like Girls. They're probably into like Jack's Mannequin, Taking Back Sunday, We the Kings. They're probably into Yellow Card, the Somerset, maybe The Stories So Far, the Rocket Summer, the Main, the Cab. I mean, they're into a lot. Like, I'm sure there are other bands that they didn't just come to see the Panic at the Disco. Never Shout Never, too, probably.
Ugh.
Plain White
Send it
Tees,
away.
Paris. Ooh, Set Your Goals played. I didn't know that. That's cool. So I mean, they
remember
were
when
probably,
Set Your Goals was cool.
I like Set Your Goals, man. One of those niche bands that like I'm into.
I'm just
Sounds like you're more disappointed than the people that attended.
Yeah, I just feel like the for a group, if you set yourself back 10, 15 years, every single person that was in the crowd for When We Were Young would have looked at a Taylor Swift fan being like, she hasn't announced this thing, or while she was playing, she changed her dress. She did this thing, like all of that ridiculousness that comes with a fandom like that, right?
Sure.
10 or 15 years ago, anybody that was going to see the bands that are ostensibly playing When We Were Young Fest, they would have been like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you're just going to a show. Enjoy the show. Even if it is a festival, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And now those two fan bases have so violently collided in the past couple of years, where now they're all sitting back and they're like, well, you can tell by the way that Brendan Urie made a post on Instagram that they're getting back together and we're going to get a full Panic at the Disco reunion, and Ryan Ross is going to be there, and he's the one that wrote most of the songs anyway, and this is everything. So I'm going to cosplay as Ryan Ross at a festival that I'm paying thousands of dollars to even be at, because it was $2,000 to get a fucking hotel room in Vegas. Never mind getting my ticket to a fucking festival to go see a bunch of bands. But those same people are still going to sit back and be like, no. Independent music is the lifeblood of the entire music industry. They wouldn't have anything if they didn't have. What are you talking about? What the fuck? No. You fucking, I'm sorry. You fucking idiot. No. Going to When We Were Young Fest is not you supporting the. I've always been a scene kid. I've always been into alternative music. Panic at the Disco had a #1 single, and that's the only song that you sang fucking along to at this fucking festival. No.
Man, you're just mad at, are you just mad at people enjoying things, AJ?
I love that they enjoy it. I love those songs. I'm not mad at you enjoying it. I'm mad at like the plurality of people that I have seen on social media sitting around and being like, yeah, it was never a phase, Mom. That's cool. You learned that from fucking TikTok. You weren't a kid. You weren't going to house shows. You weren't going to the fucking Knights of Columbus Hall to go see a local band.
Oh,
You heard Panic at the Disco the same way I did. You were listening to Kiss 108 and you liked the sound of guitars. And you thought because of social media that you could make that your personality. Fuck you. You don't know shit about this. No, if you're at you go to When We Were Young Fest, you're a real one. And I'm fully aware that, like, I'm still trying to make some music moves and stuff. This is not going to win me any favors in that group. But fuck you people. Oh, I went to When We Were Young Fest. I'm an old head. I watched a Fever You Can't Sweat Out 20 year. You don't know shit about guitar music. Get out of my face. I love it. There were parts of it. I was singing along. I love it. Two things can be true at the same time. I love that shit, but the coverage of it all has just been horrendous.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I will say this, like, not every, I don't want to say normie, but like not every normal person is into music like we are. I mean, they just consume it and like that's it. I mean, we try to, or like they don't, people just hear a song and like that's it. They don't listen to the full record. And I think that's okay. It's whatever, man. Like I don't care. I don't have the time or energy to critique people's music taste or care about how they got to the outcome that they did. Like, if you like Panic at the Disco and you only know that one song and that's why you went to the festival, I think that's kind of dumb, but sure, do it.
But you got to hear it twice, so
yeah, I mean, cool.
There you go.
There you go. I mean, like, I mean, like, I just don't care. Like, if that's what you want, if that's what you want, do it. If you like that shit, cool. Like, like,
yeah.
That's probably why, like, when you were like, have you heard what happened at When We Were Young Fest? I was like, wait, what happened? Because I thought I was like, did a band break up? Did something like happen? Was it like an Astro World situation that I just didn't hear about?
No, it was just way too many people that are way too online, myself included, where I sat back and I went, come on. We knew this was happening. We knew that this was going to be the outcome. And there it is. You're fine. But there were some people that were big mad. And they're all mad specifically at Brendan Urie, which I think was the real initial point, was like, why are you mad at this guy who had already taken over the name? Like, what were you expecting?
Like, it was gonna happen regardless. Like, I'm not surprised it was just him, and like, one past member showed up for one song, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not surprised by that. Like, that makes sense. I mean, Brandon is, when you think of Panic at the Disco, like, who do you think of?
You think of him.
He is the guy. When you think of Fall Out Boy, who do you think of? You think of Pete Wentz and you think of Patrick Stump. Most people don't think of like Andy Hurley and
Joe
God,
Truman.
no one thinks of those two guys who are just as important to Fall Out Boy and their sound. But like people, when you think of Paramore, you think of Hale Williams, and if you're a real nerd about it, you think of the Farrow brothers.
And now kind of Taylor York. But exactly.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, like,
what were you expecting?
I mean, it's also like when you think of the Rolling Stones, or you think of like Aerosmith, like, or you think of, I'm trying to think of like other iconic bands. Like you think of like
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath, or you think of yeah, any band, you think of the most important member and you're like, "Oh yeah, right, that person too."
That guy.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I just thought it was interesting.
Get to Patriots talk. Unless you have
Let's
anything else.
get to Patriots talk.
All right. Since we last left you, it was the loss against the Pittsburgh Steelers, where they had 5 turnovers and lost at home, lost by 1 touchdown, 21-14. They made up for it significantly the following week against the Panthers, 42-13, a stomping of them.
And everybody was wondering what's wrong with Gillette Stadium. And yet, those were September games, right?
Yeah, both September games.
September football, not indicative of what a team really is. And
no,
I am trying so hard to hold myself back from being the guy. Drake May is the future. Drake May is the GOAT. He is MVP conversation. I don't want to hear any of that. I just want to win more football games. But
because I made a comment last week,
we do.
AJ dies.
It seems like all we do is win games. And yes, we have one of the easiest schedules in the entire NFL.
Yes.
And yes, we are largely young and new, and it's not like it is a McDaniels offense, but it's not like handpicked guys.
For the most part, yeah.
The offense is just doing they're, forgive the expression, they're doing their job.
They're doing their job, and like I think before the season started, we were going through the schedule and I was picking out the games that they were going to win. And I said, I think at the very end of it, I said, I think I picked 11-6. I picked 11 wins. We're almost halfway there, which is crazy. Drake May has played better and better each week. I said in the Discord server, Roger's a clown, that Drake May is top 5. I think he is playing at that level, hands down, at least this season.
He's elevating what he has.
Yeah.
And I didn't love today, especially. I didn't love a couple of the scrambles that he went for,
Mm.
that hitting of the head off the turf was, you got 6 yards out of that.
Yeah, that was scary.
And you had to go into the tent. Like, nope, not. That came about 20, 30 minutes after I had just started telling my cousin Bobby, like, this guy is, I love watching his mind work.
Yeah.
Where he has the Mahomes and the Allen in him, and he's shown it. He can scramble. He can get out of the pocket. He can run for the first down. He can make something out of nothing and throw that sidearm, like, weird angle thing. Drake's got all of that. But up until today, it was like, well, he's playing it really safe and making sure that he protects himself.
Right.
And then he didn't today. And that's the one thing that I can say is going to be a real issue for him going down the next couple of seasons. Not only this season, the next few. Like, that's the kind of thing that will get you take hits like that, you're not going to last long.
No. But man, he is so fucking good, man. Like, he throws such a pretty ball. Like, tight spiral, like, right where it needs to be. God damn.
Every time, dude. He just, as soon as it's warranted, especially when he has to throw it a little bit deep, there it is. Like, he launches it. He's got an arm. He's got the legs. My only complaint, and it's not a complaint, it's just a wish. Like, just be smart with those decisions.
Yeah. Which I think
don't do the Patrick Mahomes like fake slide. Don't run roughshod over everybody like Josh Allen does for the sake of it. Just play it safe and you're going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that Carolina game, I know he didn't end up doing much. I want to talk about some of these games, for example. Yeah, he just didn't have to do much. The defense kind of took care of it. This defense is not that great, to be honest with you. I mean, it's bend, don't break. They will occasionally get the turnover that they need to overcome everything. Like, especially the secondary. The secondary is not particularly that great.
Yeah, the turnover game, like, when you can snatch that ball, for the most part, they got that.
Yeah.
It's the short yardage.
Getting dinked and dunked.
How many times can I watch a Patriots defender lay themselves out like fucking Superman themselves? Like, the full reach they're trying to wrap up in the defense, and they miss the tackle. It happened so many times this week and in the past fucking 5 weeks. That's bad tackling.
Yeah. I mean, the Carolina game, they were expected to win. They should have won that game pretty handedly, and they did. I remember, like, when that game opened up, I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know about this," because, like, the first drive, Carolina went down and scored a touchdown, and I was like, "Ugh, here we go again. Marcus Jones with a huge punt return. And then, I mean, our run game so far this season hasn't been that great, but we managed to get it down to the red zone, to those short yardage, and we were able to punch it in each time.
I think it's hilarious, especially today, that we get weeks of Ramondre Stevenson fumbles. We still put the ball in that man's hands, and it works.
Mike Vrabel likes him. I mean, especially like after that Panthers game, the very first play was a run up the gut by Stevenson where he was just like, fuck you, I don't care. I'm going to give him the ball. Like it was like, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. I'm going to do what I want. Which I hope Mike Vrabel, like, I hope that doesn't hurt him in the end. I
don't think it will.
I don't think it will, but I hope he doesn't get like he is too stubborn and is like, nope, fuck you. I'm just going to do what I want. Then the following week, it was Patriots and Bills. And this is a statement win. Bills have had our number.
A huge
And this
win.
is a real win against the Bills. I know that we won last year, like week 18. That one doesn't count. Josh Allen wasn't playing. I mean, they didn't have anything to play for. They wanted us to win because they wanted us to fuck up our draft position. This is a real win against a good team.
It was kind of a shot across the bow in that win. Like, hey, we're
here.
And I know the standings are the standings. I think we still have the tiebreaker after this week. I'm just so intrigued by the schedule. The schedule is what the schedule is, but if they just keep this up a little bit longer, now you're playing real games.
Yeah.
And I think we said in a previous podcast, there were times where the Patriots were, on paper, they were the better team. And they played down to their competition.
Sure.
Now we're watching a Patriots team that has an identity. And they keep going. I really just want to see them keep going. And as a fan, I'm worried about whether or not they can keep that up. As a realist, I go, okay. Everybody that's talking about Drake May as an MVP candidate, all this other, no. but
right.
You're not entirely wrong by saying it.
Not wrong. I mean,
I like where
he
we're
has
at.
elevated this team significantly. He has made a significant sophomore year bump. I mean, just some of the highlights from this game. I mean, like that throw on the run to Stephon Diggs to set them up towards the end of the year. Like, what was it? It was like it was like in the fourth quarter, getting them down to either the field goal or getting a touchdown. Like that was huge. Last minute field goal by us. I mean, I was at the wedding watching this on my phone because I was like still mingling and still talking to people, but I was like, oh man, like I have to watch it, especially since the bride was a big Patriots fan, so had to.
Yeah.
Little scared at the very end with 15 seconds left or a couple seconds left. I was like, this game is not over yet because like Buffalo could do anything. And I mean, Patrick Mahomes literally came down the field with 17 seconds left in that one playoff game. Remember that? So, I mean,
Yep.
Josh Allen is on that same level. So I was like, I'm not doing anything until like the game hits 0. I'm not celebrating.
Yeah.
And if you look at the box score, Drake May, I mean, held onto the ball 22 for 30 at 273 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, but he played a clean game. I mean, that's all that mattered. Got us what we needed. We were able to do what we needed to do in that game. Got a Josh Allen interception. That was huge in that game. Oh man. New Orleans, it seemed like we were fighting the refs more than we were trying to beat the refs more than the Saints at some points.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't want us. They didn't want that.
The penalties in that game were so dumb. The pass interference against Stephon Diggs, there was another offensive pass interference that was like so minor and stupid. Both not like they should not have been called. And the explanations after the game were stupid as well. I mean, I would be okay with this team walking away with being 4-3 at this point. I mean, Buffalo, they are a tough team, although they haven't looked good recently. But like, we're beating the teams that we should be beating.
I think we put Buffalo on notice.
Oh, yeah.
And as quote unquote easy as the rest of the schedule is, I'm still, especially after today, we got a couple of losses in our future.
Well, as I was talking to somebody and they were like, "Oh, like, who are you playing against?" This was like last week. I was like, "Oh, we're playing the Saints. In theory, we should win. In theory." Like that is like the phrase that I have adopted. Like I was like, "Oh, we're playing the Titans this week. In theory, we should win. We are better than this team, but anything could happen." I mean, it was kind of it's the NFL, and also like the start of today's game was eerily similar to that Panthers game, where like the Titans seemed to they got off to kind of a hot start, 10-3. We weren't stopping them. Our defense didn't look that great to start off the game.
Yeah.
Straight up. They did not look good. The saving grace is we were playing Cam Ward. Cam Ward is a rookie quarterback, and he just made rookie mistakes. Not early on, but towards the second half with that strip fumble and that interception. Drake made some great passes in this one, man. I'm falling for it, man. I'm just like, oh.
Yep.
I'm in. He is a guy. He is a guy. Like that throw.
The guy.
He is the guy. He just puts in the right place. Like that Austin Hooper touchdown throw. That Kayshon Boutte, which looked like it was just a...
Kayshon Boutte was fucking unreal.
He is also turning into a guy as well. He's awesome. He has been fantastic for us. I remember there was like talk for a little bit that oh, what is his role going to be? What are they going to do about him? Just based on like drafting other wide receivers and like, he's a low round pick. Like what is his role going to look like? And he's delivered. He has a nice role on this team, especially with Jalen Polk being traded, and there was like Javon Baker, who was drafted last year, who was then cut by us. He was supposed to be a stud. He didn't do he didn't do anything last year.
Absolutely nothing.
Kayshon Boutte, turning into the newer Jacoby Myers.
I'm here. I'm here for it all.
And Diggs, these past couple of weeks, has woken up. He has looked good.
Oh, just down the middle. Like, yep, you're going to get hit. Run it up the gut. He knows.
Oh, absolutely.
He knows where he's supposed to be.
The buy-in for this team is fantastic. People love Mike Vrabel. I think it sounds like everyone has like bought into it. I was listening to I hate to admit it. I was listening to Boston Sports Radio, and they were interviewing someone from a Tennessee Titans, Tennessee Titans reporter or radio reporter, and he was saying the Patriots are going to lose, the Titans are going to win this week because this is what Mike Vrabel does, the Mike Vrabel effect. And I don't know if you would agree with this, but he said that like so the Titans would win a big game, and then immediately the next week a game that's super when they're facing a team that's beatable and like sucks, they lose it. They play down to it. I'm not sure if you have looked into that or you have a recollection of that.
Not at all. No. I don't agree with that at all. I think I never want to walk into a game and say, "Oh, this is going to be a win." But this one felt like, yep, the issues with Vrabel and the front of house, the whole Vrabel Titans saga was like, yeah, we're gonna come in, we're gonna show them you missed out, and we did.
I loved at the very end of the game, the whole crowd was chanting Vrabel. Man, the fans.
I heard that too.
Titans fans miss Vrabel, man. I'm sorry for you guys. Sounds like you have like some of the worst ownership in the NFL, and that sucks. I feel bad for
really
you guys.
do.
That sucks.
Really, really do. Because I don't know how to explain. How do you not, on the coaching level, how do you not know that you've got a guy? How do you not know that? How do you pin your franchise's losses on Mike Vrabel? Was never the issue with the fucking the Tennessee Titans were never. Vrabel was never the issue. What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, he had some bad rosters over there, and he never really
bad superstar.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, superstars came and went on that roster, but your coaching staff wasn't the issue, guys, and that's the one you went.
Yeah,
I don't know. Tennessee's
they're one of the worst teams. I actually feel bad for them, man. Like, that sucks. Like, I can't imagine having just bad ownership of a team. I don't know how you guys would even show up to a game with bad ownership like that. Between like the AJ Brown trade, they never had like, I mean, Ryan Tannehill had a couple good years there. He got the most out of Ryan Tannehill. It sounds like there are deeper issues with Tennessee than it was Mike Vrabel. Hopefully you get another number one pick, and hopefully you don't ruin Cam Ward. Although it sounds like you're already there.
Yeah.
I can't even see AJ now.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was kind of going into the season being like 10-7 was a real possibility, and every win like this makes it a reality. We can't help but who we have on the schedule. Hopefully we don't get exposed. Yeah. We also have had really good injury luck. We haven't had a lot of guys who have missed time. Unlike the Ravens, man, they are struggling.
They're struggling.
But with reason. I mean, like, everyone is out. They have like 20 players on IR right now, or something crazy, missing multiple weeks at a time. Lamar Jackson's not there. He's out. There's still going to be a tough team later in the season. I'm not going to write them off just yet. We have the Browns next week. They have a pretty good defense.
They could make something work. I would like to imagine that they make something work against the Browns.
The Patriots or the Browns doing something against us?
I just don't have
Yeah.
It might be the homer in me. I just don't feel any kind of. I don't feel any significance about the Browns, the Ravens. I'm not. I'm still feeling that 10-7.
Yeah, I'm feeling that 10-7 as well. I mean, they're obviously going to lose a couple games here and there. This next week might be a trap game, like, especially riding high after the Miami game. I mean, Miami looks terrible.
Miami's done, dude. They're nope, not even
They're
in
done.
the conversation.
They are done. Mike McDaniels, you're cooked. You're done. He's going to be an awesome offensive coordinator for somebody. I don't see him being another head coach anytime soon. Maybe down the road, but I just don't see it. Doesn't sound like he has control of that locker room, and Tua might be cooked as well.
If he's not already there, he's
Tua,
getting there.
I mean, he has looked awful these last couple of weeks. Really bad.
So bad.
The worst I've ever seen.
Quite frankly.
I mean, when your only win of the season is against the Jets, and the Jets,
that says something.
They're just pathetic at this point.
I mean, odds favorite to get first round pick.
But will it actually happen though? The thing is, they're always they somehow sneak in like a win or two, and they always get themselves out of position to get the first pick.
I don't know. This year feels like their year for that.
I'm not rooting for them. I hope they win a couple of games. I hope they win a couple of games so they get pushed out.
Well, I live in the DMV. It's still getting a little warm down here. If you're good, I'm good. I need to
cool off.
I'm feeling the heat. Yeah, turn this AC back on and go make my way. Although, I don't know, this Atlanta and 49ers game is weirdly close.
It's only 3-0.
But going into the second half, I thought Mac would have something.
It's only the second quarter. Yeah, I think we can wrap this up.
back to back. They're making runs, watching it live. Still can't get a first down. It's Mac Jones football, ladies and gentlemen.
The most boring brand of football.
But yeah, I'm getting warm over here. It's still hot in the DMV. Anything else you want to? Any other points you feel are necessary?
I just want to say this. I think you're talking about possible MVP for Mac Jones. I don't think that's the case. I think it's probably going to end up going to Patrick Mahomes. He is actually playing at a pretty good level this year,
especially if they overcome a couple of losses.
Yeah, he's had a huge.
Yep.
He's had a huge year. I think.
I see it.
As of right now, he's the front runner, despite what people are saying about Baker Mayfield. That's the only thing I got. Oh, yeah,
I'd like to see Baker. I'm there with you. If he can keep pulling out, he's had a couple of last second drives. He's okay.
Yeah.
I'm paying attention. I like that. And Drake May, obviously, I would like to see it. I don't think it's realistic. I think we go down the stretch as far as we can, and okay. We've already gotten past the national media's projections, so we're
in good shape.
Patriots are on track.
Any recommendations that you got?
My friend Travis sent me a nice care package, formerly of Therefore I Am, and his own solo project, and Ghost Thrower, which was a Run for Cover Records artist. Go listen to Travis.
Hell yeah.
He hooked me up.
Listen to Pup. Pup is cool. They're a cool band.
I like Pup. I gotta get more Pup into the rotation, but yeah, go listen to Pup.
So that's it for us. Check us out on our social media. Pack You Run Pod on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Mandeot. You are at AJ is not home.
And we're about to switch over from I've been doing some legwork on the company that will not be named front. We're almost a full podcast without ties to whatever's going on in the Middle East.
Hopefully we will record again next week. We got a mailbag from like an email. I think it was from your cousin about Kyle Williams. We'll probably go deep dive into that next week, as well as into
oh shit, yeah,
into next week's Patriots game and whatever other music things that we want to talk about. But I'm gonna sign out. I'll catch you guys next week.
Peace and blessings.
Bye.
We'll catch you guys later. Bye.